during this year's Edmonton Expo, we had this tremendous opportunity to talk to Garrett Wang from Star Trek Voyager. Now, Trina and I, we're going through this series, Star Trek Voyager, because it's back up on Netflix, and we're super excited about it. And so, for the first little bit, Trina is talking, and you can tell she's fangirling out there a little bit. But without any kind of further ado here, I'm just going to play this amazing video of Garrett Wang and our time with him. So there you go.
I'm here with Garrett Wang, and super excited to be here. Thank you for doing this with us.
Thank you very much.
I don't even know what to ask yet. I'm a little bit starstruck. I've been binge watching Voyager, so it's very exciting to be here with Garrett. I guess I'm going to ask, do you have any favorite memories from doing Voyager?
Yeah, just, all the camaraderie and the friendships, the bonds that I made with the fellow cast members. Just, I would always tell people that if they were to film us in between takes, just how we interacted with each other, how we made fun of each other, how we joked around, like that would be the #1 sitcom in America, or in the world, if they were able to show us during the downtime. So, yeah, it was a great time.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So Tom and Harry on the show were kind of like best buddies. They had that whole camaraderie going. Was it similar off stage?
It was, but everyone assumes he's my best friend off camera, but Robbie McNeil had a wife and 3 young children, so he didn't have a lot of time to hang out, afterwards. Even though he was the closest in age to me, my best friend on the show was actually Robert Beltran, Chakotay, because he was single. He didn't have 3 kids, so yeah. So there you go.
That's really cool. Now you do a lot of cons.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories, any fun tidbits from doing cons?
Oh my gosh. People always ask me what's the weirdest thing that's happened, at a con. I was like, well, once a lady came up and said, "Hi, will you sign my baby's head?" I said, "With this poisonous Sharpie?" "No, I will not sign your baby's head." So that was kind of an odd request, but you take the good with the bad, or you take the strange with the normal.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite con memory?
Favorite con memory was probably in Calgary, at the Calgary Expo. Same folks that throw the Edmonton Expo also throw Calgary. And I kind of told the guys at Calgary Expo, I said, one of the things I do at cons now is I offer my services as celebrity moderator for panels, for other guests, media guests that are there. And that particular year, they said, yeah, we had a cancellation. One of our moderator hosts is sick, so we'd like you to fill in. I said, oh yeah, sure. Who am I going to be moderating? They said, Stan Lee. And I went, huh? Stan Lee? And oh my gosh! And sitting on stage next to him, right before we started the panel. I mean, we're as close as you and I are, and he pats me on the leg and he goes, "I gotta tell you, I can't hear very good, so you may have to repeat a question for me." I go, "Yes, Grandpa, I will. I will repeat it all for you." I mean, I had tears of joy coming out, and there's a few fans that commented on social media, like, "We were in the front row. I think we saw Garrett crying." Like that. Oh my, I was, but happy tears. Yeah, so that's a favorite con memory. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, we saw that panel. It was well done.
Were you?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we were there that year.
That was a good one.
It was a good one. Yeah.
Are you guys Calgary based or Edmonton based?
We're Edmonton based.
Okay,
yeah, so
gotcha.
We go down to Calgary, make the trek.
Yay!
Calgary.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Mm-hmm.
Are you working on anything? Do you have any new work?
I've been doing a lot of voiceover work here and there, but the latest project I did in front of the camera would be Unbelievable, the movie, which is a ensemble cast of Star Trek alumni, about 40 of us in there, and we're not playing our characters from Star Trek, we're playing other characters. And the best way to describe it is, everyone's familiar with the movie Airplane, and so it's a very broad slapstick type of comedy, so I say it's like Airplane set on a lunar base, so it's sort of a sci-fi type of airplane, yeah.
Now, were you ever interested in Star Trek or sci-fi before you landed the role of Harry?
Yeah, I mean, I was a sci-fi fan from the age of 8 when I saw Star Wars in the movie theater the first time, and that began my lifelong love affair with science fiction. And I watched all the different Star Trek films when they came out in the theater. I watched the original series, but when you're a kid and you've seen 1977 Star Wars and 1966 TOS original series, is really not really that good compared. I mean, the visual effects, you want to see more visual effects, right, as a kid. But yeah, I've always been a science fiction fan of everything.
What's your favorite science fiction show or book?
I think my favorite of all would have to be a show called Farscape. It took me a while to see it, and the only reason why I watched it was because I was moderating a couple of panels of the actors from Farscape at a convention in Germany, and I said, I got to brush up a little bit on this show. I didn't watch it, and the main reason I didn't watch it is I knew they had Jim Henson Muppet in there, right? And I thought, I'm not going to watch some show with a Muppet, and I saw the first episode of Farscape. I said, okay, let's watch the second. I binge watched the entire series in literally 18 days. I finished the whole thing, and it's a lovely combination of science fiction, comedy, drama. It's got it all. So I'm a big fan of that show. Yeah.
For sure. Thank you.
Yeah, well, for the longest time, I told my parents I was going to be a doctor. So forever I was going to medical school. And I remember the day that I decided not to go to medical school. So I called my mom up. I said, hey, Mom, medical school is out. She said, oh, law school? No. Oh, MBA? No, not business school either. What are you going to do? I've decided to go into acting. She drops the phone. She picks the phone back up. She says, you name one Chinese man that has made it in Hollywood. I answered Bruce Lee. She responded without skipping a beat. She goes, he's dead, pick another. And I couldn't. So it was a long battle with my parents to convince them. It took them about 5 years, but I took all these different, acting classes, and I did theater for 5 years. And really, the good thing about them not supporting me for 5 years is that I trained, and I kept training. I didn't jump right into the world of auditioning. So by the time they did come around to support me, when I went into my first audition, I felt I was 5 years beyond everybody else that just got off the bus from Indiana, into Hollywood. So it really gave me an advantage. So the moral of the story, or the lesson to be learned here, is that you may feel like whatever situation you are in is a negative situation or something that is dragging on you. My arguments with my parents, the discussions. But everything that happens in life negative is always to set up something positive. Because truly, that 5 years of debating with my parents about my career choice helped me become a much more confident actor. And I just knew that I had more going for me. And it helped me get on the show faster. Because by the time I started auditioning, Star Trek Voyager was my 32nd audition. So very quickly, a year and a half into the whole auditioning game, I landed, a gem role that is going to be remembered forever.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, being a Chinese man, did you find it more difficult than to break in?
Oh my God, most definitely, because there are a lot of stereotypes that, out there, and in America, in the U.S., there's a lot of talk about the race issues, and it's always black and white, and a lot of times African Americans feel like they're the most slighted, but if you think about it, I think Asian American men have it worse because there are 3 wars. World War II, Japan, Vietnam War, North Vietnamese and China, Korean War, Korea and kind of China too. So these are 3 different generations of Americans that have gone overseas to fight against guys that look like this. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Asian women have profited off of that. They've benefited off of that because while these men are overseas battling, against Asian men, they're getting their needs taken care of by Asian women. So that's why Lucy Liu is Lucy Liu. Connie Chung, national level broadcaster. Why isn't there a Joe Chung? Why isn't there a compatible, someone that is Asian and male that is a broadcast journalist on par with Connie Chung? Because of these stereotypes that we've been battling against forever. And yeah, you will see Asian male broadcast journalists, but they're relegated to either New York or California, and they're all field reporters. They're always like, hello, this is Joe Chen. I'm in the middle of the Malibu fires. I'm getting hit by embers right now, and I'm risking my life. And they're never the anchor, And that's because of these wars. And not only just Vietnam, World War II, and Korean War, but the trade war in the 80s. The Japanese automakers were killing the American automakers. They were just completely undercutting them, doing a better job, selling product for cheaper, and there was a lot of backlash for that. There was a Chinese man in Detroit, Michigan, that was killed by 2 out-of-work GM auto workers, a father and son. They beat him to death, right? And they got off too. They completely got off scot-free. Didn't serve 1 day of jail time. because of this kind of, racist attitude towards Asian men. So it's always been an uphill climb, but I'm happy to say that I portrayed a role that had no accent. Right, I didn't deliver any Chinese food to Captain Janeway. I didn't, I literally, I told them, I said, listen, guys, I want him to be known as Starfleet first, Asian second, and they really, they were really good about it, because I remember one episode they said, okay, we have an episode coming up where you're not in your uniform, you're having a R&R on this planet, you go down to this planet, you're wearing kind of like your casual wear, but the shirt that we have for you kind of folds over, so it looks a bit Asian, so we wanted you to take a look at it and see what you think. And I said, oh yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, it doesn't look like, I'm wearing a karate gi or something like that, or a kimono. And they said, oh, also, by the way, this is a piece of wardrobe that's been used before in TNG. It was worn by Patrick Stewart. I go, that's fine, I'll put it on. So yeah, that works for me. So yeah, so they were very, cognizant of my concerns, and so that was great. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope you got some good stuff out of that. Any other questions?
Awesome.
You good? Okay. All right.
That's great. We'll let you get back.
Thank you.
That's all we have. If you guys would like to know more information about the Northern Nerd Network, well, there's so many different places that you guys can find us. You can find us on our own website at northernnerdnetwork.com. You guys can find us on Twitter at northern_nerd. You can find us on Facebook at Northern. Well, just look up Northern Nerd. You'll find us. We're all over the place. So go check us out on those various social media networks. And that is it for this edition of the Nerdcast, or Northern Nerd Network. That's it. That's all. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this edition, and I'll see you guys on the next one.